Guys, we are reading this right. Tigers of Burma. Please insert the office meme right here.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
Welcome to a lot of new news, development, upcoming stuff, hopefully a test server very soon so we can test out a lot of the things. Weapons and vehicles of the Tigers of Burma update. Holy bananas. Now let's try and unpack whatever we see in this picture, and there's a lot. One thing is sticking out, two things are sticking out, one tiny one hiding in a corner. That really does resemble a Burma landscape. Now, I went through the forums first and foremost without any tanks, weapons, squads, and what. Is there going to be a new battlefront? Is there going to be new scenery we're going to be fighting in? No one really confirms it. There was a question for James. What has the American premium and all the love for Americans in this update has got to do with Burma? And he kindly replied that it's just a coincidence. So, grain of salt, there might be Burma on the way. You never know. Now, that's what the scenery looks like here. We have a Chiri 2, double-barreled Japanese tank here. We have some American and Chinese soldiers running around with Thompson-looking guns. Obviously, the big elephant in the room is the Super Pershing in the middle, which is finally here. And then there's the rocket Pershing, the M26 with rocket launchers on the turret, hiding here in the corner, which is funny. So yeah, we're gonna kind of skip over the Burma thing. We're gonna leave a room for speculation here, but we're gonna try and dig through, and there's quite a lot to unpack, so just stick with me here, guys. And we start off with two premium squads for the Americans straight away. There was a question, why is there two premium squads for Americans? And James had answered in the forum post saying that there was a necessity for the Americans, a low tier and a higher tier premium squad. So here we go. German mains, hold your angers. We're gonna get to the good stuff here, because when you're gonna see that Americans with T-24, which is almost one for one exact copy of an MG-42, gets 100 round belts, you'll be absolutely popping off. But don't worry, we're going to scroll down. You'll be happy at the end of the day. Some changes made to this T-24 MG-42 copy. I'm not going to go into the caliber changes because I really don't understand bullet calibers and all that stuff. But it is lower fire rate, 670 rounds per minute. So I mean, for the MGs like this, it's quite tricky to control them with a high rate of fire anyway. So 670. I hope it's not going to be too slow, but it's a premium premium squad, so who knows who's going to buy it anyway. So we'll see about that. And then there's a new nation, new country representatives in Enlisted from China.
I love them. China.
Volunteers who fought alongside the Allies against the Axis forces with the Thompson 7.63 SMG. Following into the video, we're going to be calling the gun the Chinese Thompson, as they're calling it themselves. It's an unlicensed copy of a Thompson, vaguely resembling a rare 1923 version with a long barrel and a bipod, rechambered for 7.63 Mauser, and uses its own 30 round magazine. Hit power is a bit lower, but it's quite fast to fire with 810 rounds per minute, which is pretty cool. And the engineer in this squad is armed with the thing itself as well, so engineer isn't left out from the SMG funness. So those are the two premiums. That's it. Everything else is free. We're gonna glide over this real quick. USSR. We're gonna start off with a military motorcycle squad at battle rating 2. We're gonna have the TIS AM600 with the DP machine gun just here on the side cart, and alongside this vehicle, this military motorcycle, you're gonna have a biker squad as well. So extra squad popping into your library of squads for the Soviets. And on the top tier aircrafty side, finally something that can hold a candle up to Ju-188, the Tu-2S at battle rating 5 with 6 250 kilogram bombs. And I want to say it's much more maneuverable and better chassis than Ju-180. That's just an absolute boat in the sky. This one's gonna have two forward firing 20mm Schwach cannons, which are insanely good, and the 12.7 Berezins. We are very much familiar with those, so I think this is gonna be a big nemesis, like on the enemy side, if you don't deal with it. a lot of firepower left, right, and center on this thing, so you better take it out quickly. Moving on to Germany. That's it for USSR for now. Germany, here we go. MG-42 100, the Beltfed modification, world famous MG-42. 7.92 times 57 rifle cartridge. Someone knows what that means, trust me. 990 rounds per minute. There's really not much to say about the gun itself because it is your MG-42. You know very well what it is. And yeah, 100 round belt fed modification finally. With the Super Pershing in this, in the forums, obviously the devs were saying, oh, we're listening to you guys. Here goes your 100 round MG-42 and Super Pershing. And then there's some other stuff just sprinkled on top, as you can see here. Moving on to USA. Super Pershing. So this thing is insane. It is crazy how spaced armor works, and I'm a little bit worried that enlisted mechanics, the damage model and all that stuff, is it going to be able to properly show it? Because the front here of this Super Pershing, you have a plate, you have a gap, you have another plate, you have another gap, and then there's the hull armor as the front plate. So this thing, like, no one's gonna shoot through here. Like, no one is going to penetrate. Yeah, nothing in the game is going to pen upper plate, lower plate, I think. Maybe if you get a sneaky MG shot there. The turret has extra armor as well, so the turret phase itself with these angles and this front with the overlays of the breech is over 200 as well. These bits here are absolute weak spots, so if you get shot here, then see you later. It's just the basic Pershing down here, but everywhere else it is quite mighty, beastie, and very well armored. It's going to be fun to verse other top tier tanks with it. Now, this thing has a super long barrel, and just because it has springs to hold it up. It's just the T15E1 90mm. I can't remember what the basic M26 has that is already in the game, but I'm pretty sure this one has a bit of a more punch to it, and it says it can easily penetrate more than 200mm of armor. So King Tigers, we are definitely looking at you. This is gonna be interesting. It's a massive tank. It's gonna be a super big target. Well, bombs coming this way, 100% interesting to see. Would you like to see Super Pershing gameplay on War Thunder before this is added in? Or maybe we get a test server, maybe we could get to play it in test server. Well, we'll see. Anyway, moving on. We finally have, well, someone said finally, I've been waiting for this gun for so long. Hyde M1944, Mr. George Hyde, inspired by STG-44, 30 cal cartridge, carbine cartridge, quick reload, and 920 rounds per minute. Now, I googled the Hyde M1944 carbine thingy, and it looks like it has the same kind of peaky hole sight, which I utterly can't stand. It's just terrible. You can't really see where you're aiming. So if that's the case, it's a bit of a shame. Like, that's all I'm going to say. If that's the case, it's a bit of a shame. The captured Panzerbusche 43 Offenrochers. We are familiar with this thing. We know what it is. I think it's, I don't know if it says here captured, but we have this already in the game. Just a little to help out a little bit Americans with the AT department. We're gonna have this at battle rating 4 because apparently the bazooka, M9 bazooka, is not enough or whatever. Maybe that's the case. But yeah, there it is sitting right there. Japan. No one has forgotten Japan. Now, there was a discussion about Type 1890E4 that it says here, and here that this technically, I guess someone that understands Japanese or something found some secret document saying that this isn't it, but this is what we're gonna get probably. A licensed copy of a Vickers Class E machine gun, 7.7mm caliber, in the shape of Type 89TE4 for Japan at battle rating 4. This used to be an airplane machine gun. You can see that from the massive sight. It says that here as well, from anti-aircraft sight. Yeah, and massive 69 round mag and 770 rounds per minute, which is, I guess, pretty cool. Type 95 Kurogane Origami. Yeah, battle rating 2. Again, I'm guessing, oh, this thing is gonna have this on it. Okay, yeah, cool. You're gonna get the squad. I'm not sure. It doesn't say you're gonna get the squad with this thing. unlocking this vehicle. It said it for the other one, but it doesn't say for this one, so I'm not entirely sure. But cool, people who like military motorcycles, there you go. They actually look very nice in the pictures here. Moving on, a tank that supposedly was never actually built, but I'm not one to judge. I like tanks and planes anyway. Cheery 2. There you go. A massive heavy Cheeto tank, basically, with a bit of a buffed armor, a 37mm in the hull, and a longer 75mm up here. Can penetrate around 150mm of armor, sitting at battle rating 5. Now that they have a Hori production and Hori prototype, is this really BR5? There or thereabout, I'm not sure. We'll need to see how it plays, but the Pacific maps are a terrible representation on how a tank can play. It's clunky and difficult to maneuver, so if we get some new fronts, then maybe, yeah. But like tank gameplay in Pacific maps, any new cool tank added to Japan is almost like, yeah, cool, but waste, because the maps are kind of meh for tanks. So cool to see, but yeah, it's just gonna be a food for planes and anti-tank squads for the most of the part, and that is kinda it. Tank for Japan, military motorcycle for Japan, a machine gun for Japan, assault, I think is classified, assault rifle for Americans, already known AT weapon for Americans. A heavy, would this be a heavy tank? I think this could almost be classified as a heavy. Super Pershing, T-26E11 for the Americans, MG-42 machine gun for Germans, the military motorcycle for Soviets with a heavy bomber / ground attacker fighter striker. This is gonna be pretty good, I'm guessing. And 2 premium guys for the Americans, and a tasty picture. That scenery resembles somewhat the Burma. So Tigers of Burma. Are we getting heavy tank number 6 for Japan? Maybe it's gonna be premium, hopefully not. Pretty cool update, very excited to see all these implementation in the game. Really hoping for a test server. So if we do get a test server, I'll actually go pop in the Callisto server just now and see if maybe it's open. You know, maybe they haven't told us or whatnot. Maybe they're getting ready, so we'll make some videos, maybe stream that as well. So yeah, stick around for that. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what do you think, what's cool, what's not with this upcoming update, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.